welcome back to the Zero Takes channel. Today, we are going to be doing another World Cup prediction. Now, a couple months ago, back in February, I kind of submitted my first prediction. This was before some of the teams that needed to qualify, those qualifying games were still being played. It was kind of a rough draft. Now, I'm getting into kind of like my middle stage here, doing a prediction that now and then probably right before the World Cup, just to see if there's any injuries. But now we kind of have the groups kind of figured out. I feel like it's a good time to kind of revise my last predictions. So let's just jump right into this with Group A. We got Mexico, Korea, South Africa, Czechia. For Group A, I believe that Korea is going to top this group. I don't see how they wouldn't. Followed now by Mexico, and the rest of the group is going to finish off like this. I don't really think South Africa is going to have much firepower in this World Cup. I think South Korea, now some of their key players like Son are pretty old at this point, but Mexico's kind of been on the downward, not spiral, but a little bit of a downslope. So that's how I think Group A is going to kind of finish out. Group B, pretty interesting. I believe this was where I kind of had Italy in there. But now that we have Bosnia here, it kind of shakes things up a bit. To top this group, I believe last time I had Switzerland. I think I'm going to go with them again. But now I think Canada kind of has enough, especially with it being home turf and, having that edge. I think they can finish in second, then followed by Bosnia and Qatar not really having a chance at this World Cup. But, back to back, even though they hosted the last one, making it to this one again, not an easy feat, so shout out to them. Group C, a very fun group again. This realistically should stay about the same. Brazil, not many injuries. They lost Rodrigo, but they have a ton of wing talent, so they should top the group. And I know there's been controversy with Morocco, but they'll finish second. Scotland, and then Haiti. Haiti, a fun story, but not much firepower again. Moving on to Group D. A very, I would say, how everyone's kind of been saying it, a very even group. I like Turkey to top this group. I'm American. I would love to put the U.S. third here, but they've had a pretty rough go about it. The men's team hasn't been that great in the past couple months, and their best player Pulisic, he hasn't scored. Maybe I'm recording this on May 1st. Maybe he's bagged a goal in the past couple days since I haven't been checking. I'm not the biggest Serie A guy, but he hasn't scored in 18 games or something like that. It's not looking pretty for the U.S. now. They do have home turf advantage. I'm going to kind of switch this up. I think I'm going to put Australia second, USA third, and then Paraguay to round out that group. That group is becoming increasingly more difficult and frustrating to think about and rank. And it's just been real tricky for me. But that's how I think it's going to go as of today. Group E, Germany should get things done with the teams and nations that are in this group pretty easily. Then I like Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and then Curacao. Curacao should be favorites for bottom easily. Ecuador and Ivory Coast, there's going to be some back and forth, I feel like, in that group. I just like the prospect of Ecuador's more star players. Next, moving on to Group F, Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, Sweden. Netherlands should top this group pretty easily. And then it's kind of like a tug of war. Japan, Sweden. I'm going to go with Sweden. I don't think I did that last time. I can't quite remember. Sweden's got the talent to kind of push them through. We'll see how it goes. Their players have been up and down. But you'd like to think that their talent kind of pulls them above Japan, which I do think will come in third, leaving Tunisia in fourth. But this will be a fun, just kind of like this last group, Group B and Group F. The top places should kind of be cemented in, and the bottom places should be cemented in. It just kind of comes down to, who's going to finish where in the middle groups. Next round, Again, Belgium should finish top. I know they've been real rocky as of late, but their quality should have them over teams like Iran, uh, Egypt, and New Zealand. I think I'm gonna go with Egypt next. Salah's getting old, but he should lead them. They got some other quality players coming up through the ranks. They get second for me, and then I'm actually gonna go with Iran here and New Zealand at the bottom. No real reason for that. I just feel like if there was a World Cup year for this to happen, especially with some third place teams getting through, I feel like this would be Iran's year. However, they have been kind of. It would be a statement in the world. I'm not going to touch on that. But if they go, I think they'll end up doing it. It's just kind of like a storied, it would be a headline kind of thing. And I feel like world kind of works out like that. But moving on from that, Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia are going to be my three teams to move on here. Spain's going to top the group, followed by Uruguay. Pretty simple stuff here. Cape Verde does not have, again, they don't have the firepower to keep up with these teams. Saudi Arabia getting that third place spot. Next group, really fun group. Group I here. The way I see it, I think now, I was kind of looking down upon them because some of their players, I don't think Mbappe's had the best season, especially for his standards. But some of their other players, like Michael Olise, is playing so good right now. So many of their players, they're just stacked. Dembele's having a great season. I don't see how they don't make it a lot further than I kind of put them in my predictions last time. So France, heavy favorite for me not going around this time. And then I do believe that I think Norway's going to get it done for second place. I believe I had them third place last time. I'm going to switch that around and go Senegal third and then Iraq fourth for Group I there. Moving on to Group J, Argentina is going to top the group for me, followed by Algeria. And then we're going to have Austria and Jordan coming in last. I feel like that's a pretty standard prediction there, but it's one that's very feasible and very likely. Now, this next group, Portugal has a lot of talent. Again, they're playing pretty well. I'm going to pick them to top the group. Group K, Colombia second. And then we're going to go with the Republic of the Congo and Uzbekistan in last. Another one where it's kind of you have those two clear-cut top quality teams in this group, and then some more that are on the lower level, but still could be some fun games with these three. Then the last group, Group L, you would like to think that England tops the group, and I'm going to believe that they do. This is a really tough group, looking back at it. I probably said the same shit the last time. We're going to have Croatia second. They love a World Cup. The past two, they've done great, so it's hard to kind of pick against them. And then Panama, not a bad team, and neither is Ghana. But the thing is, Ghana also kind of loves themselves a World Cup, so we'll go with them third, just going based on, past results. They talk about it a lot. I hear it a ton in basketball, like basketball, football, even I guess you could say in football here, but American football, basketball, they have not championship traditions, but playoff experience, experience, stuff like that. Ghana has that. They have their World Cup pedigrees, I guess what you could say, over Panama, and that just kind of gives them the edge for me in this. Next, third place finishers. Predict the 8 best third place teams. I think there's pretty obvious ones to go through, like Senegal for me, off rip, a top team. Scotland for me, a top team. I'm going to go USA. Might be a little biased, but I believe they're a top team. We'll go Ghana here. And then we got 4 more. I believe one of these two will make it, one of them won't. So one of the Czech Republic and Bosnia will make it through. I do think that Japan makes it through. Now I said I don't believe that. Me personally, I think that's kind of where Iran's uh, Iran's journey ends. They make it out of the groups. I believe Austria makes it through. And I said between one of these teams, I think that might be a little Cinderella here with Bosnia, them getting through. So now we're between the Democratic Republic of Congo, Saudi Arabia. I kind of eliminated Iran, and Ivory Coast. And I've kind of eliminated Czech Republic as well, just because I don't think both of these teams will make it. Something in my head is just telling me it's not a data-driven selection. It's not an analytical, anything like that. It's a gut feeling. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate Czech Republic, Iran, and Congo here. And it's between Saudi Arabia and the Ivory Coast. And I think that Saudi Arabia is going to get that last spot. Had some good fixtures, like beat Argentina in their first game of the last World Cup. I think they've been given a good run. It's really tough for the Ivory Coast here, but I just think this is kind of how it's going to play out. Now, the round of 32, we'll start with match 73 here. I would really like to know where some of these games are being played because that can change a lot. Like this game right here, insane to have Canada, Mexico, 2 host nations out of the 3 playing each other. Where's that game being played? If it's in Mexico, they got an edge. If it's in Canada, they have the edge. If it's in the U.S., it could go either way. For me, I think that Canada, without knowing where it's going to be, Canada moves on there. Moving on to match 74, Germany, USA. Germany's got too much talent. USA knocked out in 32s. I believe they did the same thing last year, or last World Cup. So not much progress there. Next, a really good game, Morocco versus the Netherlands. Now, the Netherlands have some injuries. I know, like, Javi Simmons is out, but they always tend to get pretty far. Morocco, 4th place at the last World Cup, I believe. Maybe 3rd. Can't quite remember, but I think they got to the semis. They could do it again. I do think the Netherlands just too strong of a World Cup team. Again, going back to that pedigree. Netherlands got it for me there. Match 76, won't take too long on this. I'm going to go Brazil. Too much talent. A pretty fun game in match 77, the round of 32. France, Japan. France are going to be too strong there. Next game, match 78. And a very, very close one, very interesting one. I did not mean to click Norway. Will be Frank right there. It's going to be close. I think I will go with Ecuador with this. Gut feeling. There's a lot of hype for Norway, especially with Holland and everything. I just don't see it. I'm going to go with Ecuador. Match 79, South Korea, Scotland. Give me Scotland there. Match 80, England, Senegal. Another great game. Senegal, great team, but England should be too strong. Match 81, Turkey versus Bosnia. Give me Turkey in this matchup. Turkey kind of getting... They're a good team. I don't want to discredit them in any way, but kind of getting an easy run. They can get a group with, the U.S. and Australia, and then get Bosnia here in the next round. They'll get past there. I'm going to go with Belgium over Saudi Arabia. Match 83, Colombia, Croatia. Should be a fun one. Give me Croatia. Match 84, Spain, Algeria. Give me Spain there. Sorry, not giving too much analytics here. These just seem pretty easy to me. Like a game like this, Switzerland, Austria, one that seems to be a little closer in my eyes. I'll talk a little more. For me, Switzerland has more of that pedigree, and I kind of trust them more to get the job done. So that's why I'll be taking Switzerland in this game. Argentina, Uruguay in the round of 32. That's going to go crazy, but give me Argentina there. Coming off a win in the World Cup. I don't think they can get it done back-to-back, but I do think they can make a pretty or relatively deep run in this World Cup. So I'll take them there. I think Portugal will top Ghana, and I think that Australia will get the win over Egypt. Egypt does have those star players, but I think that Australia kind of has more of a quality to their squad that Egypt kind of doesn't overall. So now let's get into the round of 16, and wow, do we have some matchups, especially starting off rip. Germany, France. This will be a very, very good game. This is tough. I mean, not for the prediction. It's just what a round of 16 game to have Germany play France. I'm going to take France, but that is tough, especially with some of the other teams left. Could have been matched up with like Germany. I think I would take them over a team like Belgium here, a team like Croatia. There's many teams, Australia, Switzerland, and to just get paired up with that juggernaut in France is pretty tough. Then we got Canada and Netherlands. Not going to talk much. This is where Canada's run ends. The same for Ecuador with Brazil. And then we got another historically charged matchup. This will go crazy over on that over in the UK. Scotland versus England in the round of 16, right? Yep. And I'm going to take England, obviously, but that'll just be a good storyline game there. This game, Spain-Croatia, that could be a very interesting one. I'm going to take Spain. And then the next one, match 94. Turkey kind of getting lucky again. I don't know if I want to... I might save this to be the last pick. But this is a very close one in my eyes. I'll come back to this after these two. Moving on to 95. Argentina, Australia. I think this was the round of 16 that Argentina had in their run to win in 22, which is pretty coincidental, but I'll take Argentina there, and then give me Portugal here. Now back to Belgium, Turkey. Belgium has the name value, but they don't really play to their name value, and a lot of their stars are declining or not playing. Call it an upset, call it a shock, I don't know. Turkey sneaks on by yet again. Now we got the quarterfinals. France, Netherlands should be a great game. All the rest of these should be amazing games. I feel like these three are very familiar to me, calling back to the last video I made. Give me France. I just think they have more quality than the Netherlands. Over here, this is where Turkey's run ends. Give me Spain. Quarterfinals is great for them. Down here, Brazil, England. I'm having a little bit... I was very high on England the last time I did this, and now I'm having a little more reservations with their team. Brazil, I'm kind of the same. I have worries with Brazil. They haven't really been living up to the hype in the past, I don't know, over a decade. But England and their players and how they're going to play, like, how are they going to line up? I feel like a lot of more teams are a little more cemented in their lineup. England, there's a big question mark on some of the positions, and typically the players that play in those positions that aren't question marks kind of haven't been having the best season. Like, everyone's been questioning, who do you play at 10? Do you play Jude? Do you play Palmer? Do you play Morgan Rogers? Saka hasn't been having a good season, at least in my opinion, that he hasn't had a great season at all. Reece James just got injured. He's on his way back. I think he just got back to training, but we don't know where that's going to go. He's a very talented player that could really disrupt their World Cup run if he's out. Stuff like that. The only surefire thing they have going for them right now is they know they're going to have Jordan Pickford in goal, and they know they're going to have Harry Kane up top, is how I kind of see it. They have certain players that definitely will play. It's just, are they going to actually play, or are they just going to be on the plane? With that, I kind of struggle. I think England's defense is pretty weak. Now, so is Brazil's, but I kind of struggle to see how, unless they really park the bus. I really hope England doesn't, but call me crazy. No, don't call me crazy. I'm going to keep it safe. I'm going to go England. I really wanted to go Brazil there. I just don't see it with the squad they have right now. And then this game, I believe this is a rematch. Portugal, Argentina. Last time I took Argentina. This time, I think I'm going to give it to Portugal. Their players have just kind of been on fire this season. Argentina, I mean, their players, especially a lot of their younger stars from the World Cup last year, or I always say last year, their World Cup last term of the World Cup 4 years ago, haven't really, like, Enzo's been hit or miss. McAllister this season has been, MIA. He's been gone. Messi's only getting older, even though he's still the GOAT. There's question marks there. And I think Portugal would be smart to bring Ronaldo, not play him at all, because a lot of their other players have just been flying. But a lot of their players have been playing so well. Like, Bruno has been one of the best, if not the best player in the Premier League this year. They've got so much going for them. I'm going to take Portugal in my updated version. So now we got the semifinals, and this really sucks because this is what I think the final should be. Spain, France. With that being a semifinal game and one of these two teams going forward, it's pretty clear that I don't want to really spoil it. There's not much time left in the video. I am going to spoil it, though. Whoever wins this game is probably winning the World Cup. So let's talk about this game first. Portugal, England. I do worry a bit about Portugal's defense. They have, best left back in the world. But center backs, I don't know if I trust them as much. England, again, huge question marks everywhere. The Portugal midfield is just so good, though. I've never done. I don't think I would have predicted me doing this the last time I did this, or even a couple hours ago. But I'm going to take Portugal over England to make it to the World Cup final to play against France. There's some more question marks with Spain. I think they might just be a little too young still to get this done, even though they are phenomenal. I'm going to go with France. 3 World Cup finals in a row. I know Spain might have the best player, but Michael Olise might be playing like the best player in the world right now. They still have Mbappe. They still have Dembele. That it's just deadly. And from there, I'm going to take France as my champion. Feels like 21% of the other players on this website have also picked them, so I guess a very popular pick considering all the other teams, but that's how I think it's going to fold out right now. I believe last time I did this, I picked Spain to win against England, if I'm remembering correctly, but this time got France winning. That's just how I see it, as we are right now. But that's all I got for you. That's my predictions. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you another time. Peace.